The former Supreme Court was known to be Singapore's highest court from 1939 to 2005 and was located at St Andrews Road in an area spanning 5,110 square meters. Frank Dorrington Ward was the proud architect of this building, which was the last classical building constructed here between 1937 and 1939. This building was also the site of war crime trials of members of the Japanese military in 1946. The Supreme Court was acknowledged as a national monument in 1992 and has been restored along with the City Hall, opening to become the National Art Gallery in 2015. The Supreme Court is located where the former houses of the owners of Guthrie and Co. Limited and Bowsted and Co., formerly known as Bowsted's House, which was built in 1823, was remodeled to become the London Hotel, which was renamed thrice. This hotel was demolished in 19,000 and rebuilt, completing in 1905, however to be demolished again in 1934 to make way for the Supreme Court building. Modelled after the Old Bailey in London, the Supreme Court was designed by Ward, then chief architect of the Public Works Department, in his usual classic style and was built by United Engineers at a cost of $1,750,000. To celebrate the building of the Supreme Court, a time capsule which contains 6 Singapore newspapers dated 31st March 1937 and currency from the Straits Settlements was placed beneath the foundation stone laid on 1st April 1937 and on 3rd August 1939. This building was officially opened by the Governor of the Straits Settlements, Sir Shenton Thomas, and handed over to Chief Justice Sir Percy McElwain. The items in the time capsule is to be retrieved on the year of 3000 with the smashing of the foundation stone. On this building, we have identified 2 pairs of congruent structures on it. But before we can prove that any shapes are congruent, we first have to know the building's measurements. We did that by using this picture we found of the monument and found out the model of the taxi and the height of it, and used it as a scale to measure the other parts of the building. In the scale we used when we zoomed in fully on the picture, the height of the taxi, 147.5 cm, was scaled down to 2.2 cm, and we used that as a legend to measure the structures of the building. The first pair of congruent structures are these window panes. Using our scale, we know that the height of each window pane is about 60 cm and the width of it is about 40 cm, and with this information we can prove the congruence of the window panes using the congruence test of SSS. As congruent tests can only be conducted on triangles, we cut up the window panes into 2 triangles each. Based on our measurements, lines AB and CD are equal in length, and so are lines BC and DA. The last line AC is shared among both triangles. Since every side of a triangle has an equal corresponding side to the other triangle, they are congruent to each other. So when one of those congruent triangles each are taken from 2 separate window panes and put together, it would form another window pane of the same dimensions, proving that the window panes of this building are in fact congruent. The second pair of congruent structures are those stone slabs that make up the wall of the building. Using our scale, we can find that the length of the stone slab is about 175 cm and the height is about 36 cm. And with this information, we can prove the congruence of the stone slabs using the congruence test RHS. As stated before, congruence tests can only be done on triangles, so we cut the stone slabs into 2 triangles each as well. Based on our measurements, lines AB and CD are equal in length, and line AC, the hypotenuse of both triangles, is shared among both triangles. We also note that angles ABC and CDA are equal to 90 degrees as the stone slabs are part of a wall, and since it is a corner of a rectangle, it's equal to 90 degrees. Since the 2 triangles share a side with the same length, both have hypotenuses of the same length and a 90-degree angle. They are proven to be congruent by the congruence test RHS. So when one of those congruent triangles each are taken from 2 separate stone slabs and put together, it would form another stone slab of the same dimensions, proving that stone slabs of this building are in fact congruent. Finally, for the floor plan of this building, since it is conjoined to the building adjacent to it and we only have both buildings' total floor area, which is equal to 64,000 meters square, that converts to 640 million cm square. We measured the printed building plan's area in cm square, and knowing the life-size area, we can approximate the scale of the plan, which is about 1:4,915,800.